All right, so this is the fourth video of this series, and I just wanted to talk about the finished piece here. And so here we have it, and you can see that I changed it a little bit since that last final video, the part three. Um, Significantly, what you should be able to see here is this orange that I added here in the foliage of the trees here, and that's this color right here. That is this kind of a marmalade orange from Sennelier. And so that's what I used here, and I just kind of dabbed that in certain spots here, right at the end of the foliage where the light's kind of coming through it. And so you can see that I added that in all this area. And then also what I did is I took my darkest value, which happens to be this dark blue. And by itself, it's pretty transparent, but when you take this stick and you put it over a dark, say like a brown, it makes that area just much darker. And so you can increase the darkness, where the dark area is with this stick right here. And this is a Sennelier. Trying to see if there's a number on it. It's the grand stick, it's one of the big ones. Oh, here it is. 007. You can see that there. So that's the number of it. And it's just, like I said, it's just a nice dark blue. There's a bit of transparency about it. But when you put it over a brown, like you can see, I put some here. You can see the darkness that you can get there. I put some up here. You can see there. And so I just increased the contrast in certain areas to be darker. Put it down here in the base of the rocks, down in this area, down in the base of the trees. And kind of kept that darkness kind of down in the foreground and then the foreground trees. So I didn't bring it back in here. You wouldn't want to do that because then that kind of flattens the image there. So I did that. And then I also went over again with the pinks. So I used this pink. This is another Sennelier. And so I did some pinks here on the branches. They give a nice highlight for that light. So I used that. And then one other one that I'm just going to pull out. This is that plum scent that I like a lot, with our Bordeaux. And it's a warm dark, so it's a dark color, but it's warm. Rather than this would be a cool dark, this would be a warm dark. And so you can see where I put that right up in here. Kind of more focused on where the light is coming through. And I use this warm dark for that, to kind of bring some of that warmth of the light through, but still yet keep it dark enough. And so that's in certain parts. And I really like this scent for that purpose. So I just wanted to show you guys the final painting here. And this is on Pastel matte. You can see Pastel matte. And I tape the edges here so you can, it's helpful to do that so you can grab it by the edge here and not damage the painting or get any paint on your fingers. Also, if you frame it with an edge like this, you're not going to get any oil pastel on the inside of the frame, as the white paper will be okay for that. So that's the main reason why I like to tape off my work. I just wanted to show you what it looks like finished, and you can see the texture up close. And get up close, you can see how thick it is. Okay, which is really attractive quality about this one. And so the Sennelier, this brand, Sennelier, is the top layer. That's what gives me that texture right here. That's what makes it nice and thick, is I'm using the Sens for that top layer. And I start with the harder consistency oil pastels like the Van Goghs or the Craypas Expressionists. I start with those first because those are harder consistency, and I try to work a lot of the image with those brands. And then I add the softer brands on top. And so, as I've talked about many times before about my set, I have 4 brands in here. Actually 5, because I'm replacing my Mungios with Van Goghs. But these are the hardest consistency ones. So these are the student grade quality oil pastels, but it's still a really good set. The Craypas Expressionist. You start with a harder set, your first layers, and then you move into your softer sets as you build those layers up. And so I started with Van Goghs, and let me see if I can find a Van Gogh in here. I know that this is a Van Gogh, even though I took the papers off. Mungio Gallery is a good brand to start with because it's a little bit more on the harder side than the softer side. But Van Goghs and Mungios are pretty close. And then Neo Pastels. Here's a Neo Pastel. Okay, so this is a softer oil pastel than the Mungio or the Van Gogh or the Great Pause Expressionist. This is softer consistency than those, but the absolute softest is the Sennelier. There's no softer oil pastel out there, and so this is going to be the final layer, right? If I were to start with Sennelier on this painting, then I would have to do the whole thing in Sennelier. I wouldn't be able to bring a harder consistency oil pastel on top of it. It just wouldn't work. Okay. So I just want to show you guys that final piece and kind of what I did after that final video. I kind of added the orange, the darks, enhanced the darks, brought in some enhanced the pinks, and then of course signed it. That's always important. Got to sign your work. And this one's done. So let me know how this worked out. This was an Instagram live. I made this video on my Instagram live, then saved the videos, and then use it to upload to my YouTube. And I'm going to be making a lot more videos here as this next month starts kicking off here. I got through a lot of my commissions, so I got a lot of free time now to be able to devote to education and making tutorial videos and just trying different things and documenting that for you guys. I've also started my Patreon page. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to have some exclusive content just for my Patreon folks. In fact, I'm going to make a video here in about 5 days, and that's solely going to be on Patreon only, and I'm going to get pretty focused with it. I'm going to try to do a little bit more teaching, so that's coming. So if you're interested, go ahead and go to my Patreon page. I think there's a link in the description here. You should be able to go to that, and if you want to sign up, I would definitely appreciate it. And just know that I'll be bringing exclusive content to it. I'm also going to keep updating my YouTube channel, still bringing content here, but I want to definitely set aside something special for my Patreon people, which I'm just starting. I'm just starting this up, doing this, so just getting going here. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching the videos. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Any suggestions, anything you need to say, just go ahead and say it. All right, great. Have a great day. Bye.